This week in U.S. immigration news, we are going to cover COVID-19 vaccination requirements for Uniting for Ukraine parolees, U.S. to issue ID to migrants awaiting deportation proceedings, DHS to end Remain in Mexico, New York and Texas battle over immigration, border officials investigating claims Sikh turbans were confiscated, U.S. immigration views remain mixed, ACLU urges end to some local immigration enforcement deals, bill to give thousands of Afghans path to citizenship. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security has updated its COVID-19 vaccination requirements for Uniting for Ukraine parolees. All beneficiaries ages 6 months and older must have proof that they have received the COVID-19 vaccinations both before traveling to the U.S. and after arrival in the U.S., unless eligible under an exception. Before traveling to the U.S. under Uniting for Ukraine, all beneficiaries 6 months and older must submit proof that they have received at least one dose of the vaccine. After being paroled into the U.S. through this program, beneficiaries must submit documentation of their completed COVID-19 vaccination series within 90 days of arrival or within 90 days of reaching the eligible age. U.S. immigration authorities are aiming to issue photo ID cards to immigrants in deportation proceedings. The plan is still being developed as a pilot program by ICE. The cards will not be an official form of federal identification but will be used by the Department of Homeland Security. The cards would allow immigrants to access information about their cases online. The Biden administration is hoping for $10 million in a budget proposal for the next fiscal year to fund it, but it is not clear if the money would be used to cover the pilot or a broader program. The Department of Homeland Security announced on Monday that it plans to end the Remain in Mexico program, formerly known as Migrant Protection Protocols or MPP. Ending the Trump-era program means that migrants will no longer be sent back to Mexico to wait on their immigration decisions. Earlier this week, U.S. District Judge Matthew Kaczmarek lifted his injunction blocking the Biden administration from ending MPP. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled on June 30 that the administration has authority to bring the program to an end. DHS officials said asylum seekers in Mexico waiting for their U.S. immigration court hearings would be allowed to cross the border on their hearing day and stay in the U.S. while awaiting an outcome. New York Mayor Eric Adams has spoken out against Texas Governor Greg Abbott busing migrants for free to Washington, D.C. and New York City. The New York Times interviewed a migrant that said he was given the option of paying $50 to go to San Antonio or to get a free ride to the nation's capital. Last week, Abbott announced the first busload of migrants to be sent to New York arrived on Friday. In mid-July, Adams requested additional help from federal officials to handle the influx of immigrants. D.C. Mayor Muriel E. Bowser recently requested support from the National Guard to help process migrants, but her request was denied.
If you are new to our channel, welcome and please subscribe to stay in the loop. We offer free 15-minute consultations if your case is qualified, so we can point you in the right direction. Stay tuned for the secret code later in the show.
The American Civil Liberties Union of Arizona sent a letter to U.S. Customs and Border Protection Commissioner Chris Magnus addressing complaints that the organization received about 50 cases in which border agents confiscated turbans. Sikh asylum seekers reported that their religious rights were infringed when their turbans were confiscated near Yuma, Arizona by Border Patrol. Magnus said that CBP is taking the accusations seriously and will conduct an internal investigation to address this matter. In its letter, the ACLU told Magnus that officials seemed unaware of their obligations under CBP policy and federal law to protect asylees' religious freedom rights, and when informed that the seizure of turbans had markedly increased in recent months, they had no viable explanation for it. Views on immigration remain mixed among Americans. Research shows that 27% of Americans believe immigration should be increased, 31% would prefer it be kept at its current level and 38% want it decreased. This research is based on a Gallup poll that was conducted through July 5 to 26. 7 in 10 Americans still see immigration as a benefit to the country. A majority of Republicans reported wanting immigration decreased, half of Democrats wanted increased, and independents have been in the middle, making immigration a highly debated issue. The American Civil Liberties Union requested federal immigration authorities to end multiple cooperation agreements with local law enforcement agencies. The ACLU's acting national political director, Carrie Moss, called on Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas to end the 287 grams agreements with 54 local law enforcement agencies. The 287 grams agreements allow local law enforcement to conduct certain federal immigration enforcement actions such as making arrests and holding people in custody past their release dates so they can be picked up by ICE officials. Moss' letter refers to an ACLU report reviewing all 287 grams agreements. The report found that more than half of the sheriffs in the program have records of making anti-immigrant comments and 2/3 have a pattern of civil rights violations or racial profiling. Bipartisan legislation has been introduced that would create a path to American citizenship for thousands of Afghan evacuees admitted to the U.S. on temporary immigration status. The bill would also expand special immigration visa eligibility to Afghans who fought alongside U.S. forces as commandos and Air Force personnel and to women in special counterterrorism teams. Legislation has been introduced in both houses of U.S. Congress days before the first anniversary of the U.S. troop withdrawal from Afghanistan last summer.
Friends, show us some love and smash the like button. It doesn't cost you anything. If you have an immigration problem or need a second opinion because you cannot get a hold of your own lawyer, schedule a meeting with our team. Share information with our CARES team and they will help you get scheduled with our legal team. Now here's a secret code to unlock the free 15 minutes.